This morning in Bay County, leaders from law enforcement and minority groups around the community came together. They shared their thoughts on the events going on throughout the country following the death of George Floyd. The news conference was attended by dozens of people. The purpose? To express to the community that neither group condones the actions of the Minneapolis officer involved in Floyd's death or the violence now taking place. News 13's Erica Orstad heard from several of those leaders earlier today. She joins us live this evening to tell us more. Erica, what did people there have to say earlier?
Jerry, local law enforcement officers expressed deep sympathy for the Floyd family and for the black community at that conference, which took place here at the Bay County Sheriff's Office. And minority group leaders said the willingness from law enforcement to come forward and speak up about the incident is in itself an outpouring of support.
That is moving us closer toward healing the history of hurt in our community.
Lead Coalition of Bay County Executive Director Janice Lucas describes Tuesday's conference where Bay County Sheriff Tommy Ford and others are speaking out.
As a law enforcement officer and a human being, I'm angry and deeply disturbed by the actions of the officer in Minnesota that took the life of George Floyd, a man in his custody.
Seeing that, obviously it really made us kind of get a hole in our stomach.
Police chiefs from around the area echoed the sentiment, and minority group leaders say it's a gesture that means a great deal.
I think this says mountains about the kind of guys that we have leading our agencies here in Bay County.
Lucas and others say it's just the start of a continuing conversation.
There's still much work to do to break down those systems that allow for something like that to happen.
Having a discussion about racism is very difficult, and people have to be willing, as my mom used to say, put your feelings in your pocket and figure out it's still here.
But all said that conversation needs to happen peacefully and that violence and destruction is not condoned by either side.
Generations are coming behind us, and so we have to leave it better than we found it.
Everyone I spoke with earlier said the conference was a positive event for all involved and the community as a whole, as the topic of racism is brought to center stage in the country, across the country. Live in Bay County, Erica Orstad, News 13, Panhandle Strong.